Uh, Steam power cycle is used to run the thermal power plants, and thermal powers are the major sources for the generation of electricity power. That already we know that. And in this class, we are going to see what are the basic components of a thermal power cycle, are nothing but steam power cycles, and their objective and working here. And I'm starting here. The actual objective of the basic components of a ఇక్కడ వరకు అందిన క్లిప్ ఉంటుంది ఇట్లా
పోయిందా కనెక్టెడ్ పోయిందా
పోతుంది వస్తుంది ఏంది లిమిటెడ్ అని వస్తుంది నా దగ్గర పెడితే కనెక్టెడ్ వస్తుంది కరెక్ట్
సార్ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది సార్
ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనా చూడు ఒకసారి వేరే నెట్వర్క్ పెట్టిన ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనారా వాయిస్ హలో గైస్ హలో
వినిపిస్తుంది
ఓకే సార్
ఇప్పుడు ఓకే రైట్
ఓకే సార్
వినపడుతుందా we'll start it. Okay, just in this class I would like to see what are the basic components of a thermal power plant, and we would like to see their working and some applications here. See, listen to me. The basic steam power cycles consist four components. One called boiler, and the second component is okay. Listen to me, guys. The basic steam power plant consists
స్క్రీన్ రావట్లేదు సార్
ఇప్పుడు కూడా రావట్లే వస్తుందా ఇప్పుడు
రావట్లేదు సార్ స్క్రీన్ లేదా
ఒక్క నిమిషం
ఇంకా రాలేదు సార్
లేదు సార్ స్క్రీన్ ఆఫ్ అయిపోయింది సార్ ఆన్ ఆఫ్ అయిపోయింది
ఇప్పుడు చూడండి ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనా
రాలేదు సార్
ఇంకా రాలే ఒక్క నిమిషం
రావట్లేదు సార్ రాలేదు సార్
ఓకే ఒక్క నిమిషం ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది చూడండి ఒకసారి హలో
రాలేదు సార్
ఇంకా రాలే
రాలేదు సార్
ఒక్క నిమిషం డైరెక్ట్ చూపిస్తుంది
వైఫై బంద్ చేసి డిస్కనెక్ట్ వైఫై ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది కంప్యూటర్ సింబల్ వచ్చింది
వచ్చింది
మరి ఇప్పుడు
సింబల్ వస్తుంది కానీ నెట్ వస్తలేదు కదా
నెట్ ఎందుకు వస్తలేదు
ఒక్క నిమిషం ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనా స్క్రీన్ వచ్చిందరా
రాలేదు సార్
వస్తుంది సార్
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది okay listen guys, see here actually we'll start with this one. Okay, listen, actually the basic steam powers are having four components. First one is a boiler, already we know that in the previous class we have seen many times. Second one is a turbine, and third one is condenser, and fourth one is a pump. These are the typical components of a steam power. What is called typical components? Typical components means that is minimum requirement. Without that component, cycle will not run. Those are called as the typical components or basic components. Now these are the four basic components for the steam power cycle here. One is called boiler, and second one is turbine, third one is condenser, fourth one is pump here. Now listen to me, I'll start with the boiler here. For example, if you see the boiler in the layout, the objective of the boiler is to, it has to convert the water into steam. What it will do, it will convert water into steam. So how it will convert water into steam? By using the energy of the fuel. Okay, actually basically we supply fuel heat energy for the boiler in the furnace. When you supply the fuel heat energy for the boiler, by using that fuel heat energy, the boiler will heat the water and evaporate into the steam inside the boiler. Actually we are having the water inside the boiler, and from the outside we are giving the heat energy from the fuel in the furnace. So the boiler is using the particular heat energy which is coming from the combustion of the fuel. By using that heat energy, it is converting water into steam. This is the objective of the boiler. The objective of the boiler is what? You tell me, what is the objective of boiler? Yes, anybody? Hello.
heat.
To convert the water into vapor
steam,
by
okay, not vapor, you say like it as steam.
steam.
The
Steam.
boiler has to convert water into steam by using what? By using the heat energy of the fuel. Okay, this is clear. Now the objective of the boiler is that it has to convert water into steam and it has to supply that steam into turbine. What it has to do? It has to supply that steam into the turbine. Now objective of the boiler is over. Next move to the turbine. We'll see the working of the turbine or objective of the turbine. The objective of the turbine is that it has to expand the supplied steam by the boiler. The turbine has to expand the steam supplied by the boiler and it has to generate work output. The turbine object is what? It has to expand the steam. It has to expand the steam and it has to generate the work output. It has to generate the work output. This is the objective of a turbine. The objective of the turbine is it has to expand the steam and it has to generate the work output. Okay, we know that the objective of the turbine is. Hello, it is clear right now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay.
Clear, sir. Clear.
Right now, you see, what is the objective of the turbine? The objective of the turbine is it has to expand the steam and it has to generate the work out from the expansion of the steam. Now, the turbine is expanding the steam in isentropic manner. In which manner it is expanding? Isentropic manner. Isentropic manner. What is called by isentropic? Isentropic means S will be constant in the expansion. When the turbine is expanding the steam inside the turbine, the entropy of the steam will be constant, so that it is called as a reversible isentropic process. The expansion of the turbine is reversible isentropic. So if you would like to calculate the work output generated by the turbine, we have to use one formula that should be according to and that should be obeyed by the laws of thermodynamics. Either it may be first or either it may be second, either it may be any law of thermodynamics. Without a logic, we can't construct a formula, even single formula. So that when you would like to construct a formula for the work done of the turbine, we should obey the any one law of the thermodynamics. Why? Because we are being in the thermodynamic domain. So when you are working and when you are going through the domain of the thermodynamics, if you would like to construct any formula, you should obey the thermodynamic laws or according to the logics of the thermodynamics or principles of the thermodynamics. We have to construct the formula here. So now what is the formula we required here? We required the formula of work output of a turbine. So in order to construct a formula, first we have to go through what is happening in the turbine. What is happening in the turbine? Just we are simply supplying steam with some amount of heat. We are supplying the steam with some amount of heat into the turbine. Always the heat of any substance at any point is indicated by H, that is called enthalpy. That is called H enthalpy. So before going into the turbine, steam is having some H enthalpy. So the point before the turbine in this diagram is shown like H3, so that we can call it as H3. That means in this particular cycle, the boiler is sending the steam with H3 amount of heat into the turbine. And when it is when steam admitted into the turbine, immediately it will expand isentropically and it will do some work by the turbine and it will leave or discharge the turbine with H4 heat, with H4 enthalpy. The steam will discharge with H4 enthalpy. First what is happening? Steam is entering with the H3 heat into the turbine. Then it is leaving the turbine with H4 heat. Now if you like to calculate the work done by the turbine, definitely you have to take the heat difference of inlet steam and outlet steam. What is the inlet steam difference? That means H3 minus H4. This is the work done formula for the turbine. Turbine work done is equal to W is equal to H3 minus H4. W is equal to H3 minus H4. That means we can say that is the exact enthalpy difference before the turbine and after the turbine will give you the work output. Why? Because here turbine is doing nothing there. What it is doing, it is converting some amount of heat or some amount of energy into the work output. It is not at all giving heat inside the turbine. It is not at all discharging heat of the steam. What it is doing, but according to first law of thermodynamics, what is first law of thermodynamics? Can anyone say? What is first law of thermodynamics? Hello? Guys, you getting? Hello? Hello?
Mass neither can be created nor destroyed,
Oh, that means
or energy can neither be neither
uh,
created nor destroyed.
any type of energy cannot created or cannot destroyed, but we can preserve them. We can preserve the energies, and either we can change one form of energy into the other form. So according to the first law of thermodynamics, a turbine also not creating the energy. Not, for example, if turbine is producing or generating work output, means it is not creating. It is not creating. It just converting H into W. That's all. It is converting H into W. But at instant, it is not generating the W. Without any input, it is not generating the W. What it is doing, it is taking H as input and converting some part of H into the work, according to the first law of thermodynamics. And according to first law, it is converting some amount of heat into the work. So that is the reason the difference of heat will be the work done here. The difference of heat will be the work done here. This is about the objective of turbine. What is the objective of turbine? It has to convert, it has to expand the steam, and it has to generate the work output. How it is generating work output? By converting some amount of heat into the work, it is generating work output. This is about what? This is a turbine object. Next you come to the condenser, third part. What is the objective of the condenser? The objective of the condenser is that it has to convert steam into water. It has to convert steam into water. It has to convert steam into water. The boiler objective is what? It has to convert water into steam. But the condenser object is exactly contrary to the boiler. It has to convert steam into water. The process of conversion of steam into water is called as condensation. Condensation. That is the reason we are calling it as a condenser. Why we are calling this object as a condenser? The process of conversion of steam into water, that means vapor into liquid, is called condensation. Not only steam into water. If you convert any vapor into liquid, that process is called as a condensation. So for the condensation process, we are using this particular object. That is the reason we are calling it as a condenser. We are calling it as a condenser. In the boiler, what we are doing, we are converting water into steam. The conversion of liquid into vapor is called as a evaporator or boiling. So that is the reason we are calling it as a boiler here. Now, if you see the cycle, first boiler will convert water into steam, and it will supply steam to the turbine. Now turbine will expand the steam, and it will generate work output, and it will supply that expanded steam into condenser. Now condenser convert steam into water. Again that water will be supplied to boiler, and again in the boiler we are converting the steam. So my question is that by seeing this particular cycle, after the turbine, at the point of the boiler, again we are converting water into steam. When this is the case, why we are converting steam which is coming out of the turbine into water? Why? Because anyway this water is again going to convert into steam. Then why you are converting steam into water here? If you simply leave the steam, you should not convert water into steam again. You can supply the steam again into the turbine. Why we are converting here? That is my question. Hello?
Sir, the optimum temperature that can be maintained, then you can maintain it. But for to increase a cooled liquid to a required temperature, it needs more energy. So to conserve that energy, to save that energy, we will use that condensed steam again into the boiler.
That is okay. My question is that what is the objective of condenser? Tell me.
Objective of condenser is to convert the steam into water.
Water, okay. Steam into water. What is the objective of boiler?
To convert water into steam.
అంటే నేను చెప్పే సింపుల్ క్వశ్చన్ అర్థం వినండి. ఇప్పుడు సైకిల్లో మనము మళ్ళీ వాటర్ ని స్టీమ్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇక్కడ స్టీమ్ ఎందుకు మళ్ళీ వాటర్ చేయాలి? ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన ఈ స్టీమ్ ని డైరెక్ట్ మళ్ళీ టర్బైన్ చేయొచ్చు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లాగో నువ్వు మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు టర్బైన్ నుంచి వచ్చిన స్టీమ్ ని నువ్వు ఏం చేస్తున్నావు? ఇక్కడ కండెన్సర్ లో వాటర్ వేస్తున్నావు. మళ్ళీ అదే వాటర్ ని బాయిలర్ లో ఏం చేస్తున్నావు? స్టీమ్ చేస్తున్నావు. ఇదంతా చేసే బదులు ఇక్కడ స్టీమ్ ని వాటర్ గా కన్వర్ట్ చేయకుండా డైరెక్ట్ స్టీమ్ ని టర్బైన్ చేయొచ్చు కదా. Why? What is the reason? Why? Because see, if you observe, what is the way of conversion of water into steam? We have to add plenty of heat. We have to add plenty of heat. For about 1 kg, we need to add 3000 kilojoules of heat. For 3000 kilojoules of heat, we have to spend again 200 Rs by means of fuel. Where from you are getting the heat? From the fuel. What is the fuel? Coal. How we are getting the coal? By purchasing from the coal plants. So, anyway, we are going to convert water again into the steam. Then what is the fun in converting steam into water in the condenser? That is my question. In the cycle, in the further in the cycle, it is going to convert it into the steam only again. Then why can't you let it be steam? Why can't you let it be steam in the condenser? Why you are converting steam into water? Hello?
The heat discute as a turbine.
I say, when you are using the condenser, after coming out of the turbine only, we are converting steam into water in the condenser. After the expansion only, we are converting steam into water.
Sir.
What I am saying here, instead of converting the steam into water, can't you supply this steam directly into the turbine again? Why? Because we are wasting the 3000 kilojoules of heat for 1 kg of water only. It is for 1 kg of water. Can you imagine how much amount of mass we are running in the turbine? For 1 day in the thermal, for example, you consider NTPC. In the NTPC, how much water you use for 1 day? You know, it is 1000 gallons of liters. For 1 kg, if it is 3000 kilojoules, for 1000 gallons of water, it may be 3 billion trillions of kilojoules of heat we are wasting into the atmosphere. That means thousands of kilos, and that means many quintals of coal is wasted to convert that particular amount of water into steam. Why? Because in the condenser we are just in order to convert steam into water, what is the thing we have to do? What we have to perform to convert steam into water? We have to remove the heat. We have to remove the heat. In order to convert water into steam, we have to add the heat. So we are adding 3000 kilojoules here, and again we are just about to 2500 kilojoules we are removing per 1 kg of water here. That means how much heat is wasted for 1 kg of steam for one cycle? 2000 kilojoules of heat. It is for only 1 kg for one cycle only. Can you imagine how many cycles will run in 1 day? Lakhs of cycles, crores of cycles will run in 1 day. For one cycle, how many kilos of water will run? It is thousands of kilos. That means if you want to calculate the wastage heat WH per 1 day, it is number of cycles into per cycle what is the amount of water we are using per 1 kg, what is the heat we are removing. See, it will be in uncountable numbers. You cannot count on the minutes. So this much of heat we are living into the atmosphere. That is the reason we are getting the global warming. If you raise one question to your fathers, you after completion of this class, if anybody's father done their graduation or intermediate or 10th class even, ask them while they are doing the experiment in physics and chemistry labs, what is the room temperature you have took that while you're performing your experiment. They will say definitely when we are performing our physics or chemistry lab experiment, we used to take the room temperature as 21 degrees. But right now, when you are performing your lab experiments, you are taking the room temperature as 28 degrees. That means within the gap of your 20 years of age, this 21 degrees of room temperature is become 28 degrees. This is because of global warming. How the global warming will happen? This kind of cycles. When you run this kind of cycles, you will get the global warming. My question is that if you able to send the direct steam, why can't you able to send this steam directly into the turbine? Then you can save 2000 kilojoules of heat for one cycle per 1 kg. But we can't do that one. But we can't supply steam which is coming out of the turbine again into the turbine. Why? Because see, now here after expansion of the steam in the turbine, the steam will come in this manner. So when steam, we are expecting, the stream supposed to go in this particular direction after the expansion, then inlet steam will come in this direction. The fresh steam will come in this direction. When the expanded steam will go in this direction, there may be space. We have to empty the turbine space, then only fresh will come into the turbine. But because of the low density and low weight, because of the low density and low weight, again this steam will go back into the turbine. After the expansion, it will not leave the turbine, it will again go back into the turbine. So when it will again go back into the turbine, for the turbine, it is getting one stream in this direction, one stream in this direction. Both streams will clash in the turbine, and it will interrupt the running of the turbine. So if it is interrupted, turbine running is interrupted, there is no generation of the power. So this kind of phenomenon is called back pressure of turbine. This is called what? The reverse direction of expanded steam again into the turbine is called back pressure of a turbine. So in order to avoid this back pressure, what you are doing, the steam, when it is coming out of the turbine, immediately we are converting into the water. When it is converted into the water, water is having the heavy density, so it will go in this direction only. It will go in this direction only. It cannot go again into the turbine. So that when you immediately converting water into the steam after the expansion, this way will be clear. The turbine will be clear. The space will be empty. Then fresh steam will come into the turbine. And it will run the turbine. So that is the reason. Even though we know that there is lot of heat loss in this particular process, we are doing this process. There is no alternate, because there is no alternate. By knowingly we are wasting the.
Sir, repeat this point once.
See, simple rough. If after the expansion, steam has to go in this direction. I will explain in the plain slide. That will be clear to you. I will explain in plain slide. So listen to me. Actual turbine will be like this. If it is said to be a turbine, turbine will be like this. This is a turbine. Okay. Actually, what we are doing here, into the turbine, we are sending the fresh steam. This is a steam line. Now this steam will rotate this shaft, which is connected to the generator. Then steam is rotating this particular shaft. Generator will give you the electrical power. So when the steam is going into the turbine, it has to rotate and it has to exhaust in this manner. But it will not exhaust because of its low weight and low density. The expanded steam again go to the turbine. Now, how many directions we have? How many steams we are having here? One is fresh steam in this direction. One is expanded steam in this direction. In this direction, one steam. In this direction, one steam. At this point, both will clash. What happens? At this point, both will clash. When steam is clash, what happens? It will not run the turbine. Simple example. Listen to me, guys. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
ఒక సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తా చూడండి. ఒక డోర్ ఉందిరా ఇక్కడ, ఇది ఒక డోర్, ఓకేనా? ఈ డోర్ ని ఇట్ సైడ్ నుంచి నెట్టినప్పుడు ఇట్ సైడ్ ప్రెజర్ ఉండదు, ఉంటే ఇది ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది, అంతేనా? హలో ఇప్పుడు డోర్ ని మనం ఇప్పుడు మీ రూమ్ డోర్ ఉందిరా, నువ్వు ఒక సైడ్ నుంచి ప్రెస్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇట్ సైడ్ ఇంకో డోర్ ప్రెస్ చేసిన డోర్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుందా? ఇద్దరు ఒక సైడ్ ఒకటి ఉన్నాడు, ఒక సైడ్ ఒకటి ఉన్నారు, ఇద్దరు నెట్టుతున్నారు, డోర్ ఓపెన్ అయితే ఓపెన్ అదే ప్లేస్ లో ఉంటుంది. అట్లనే సింపుల్ ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏమవుతుంది అంటే, ఇక్కడ బ్యాక్ అంటే ఎక్స్పాండ్ అయిన స్ట్రీమ్ మళ్ళీ ఇట్లా రివర్స్ రావడం వల్ల ఇట్ సైడ్ ఒక స్ట్రీమ్ ఉంటుంది, ఫ్రెష్ స్ట్రీమ్ వల్ల ఇట్ సైడ్ ఒక స్ట్రీమ్ ఉంటుంది. ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యలో ఏమైతే టర్బైన్ తిరగడం ఆపేస్తుంది. ఏమైపోతుంది? టర్బైన్ తిరగడం ఆపేస్తుంది. సో ఇట్లా తిరగకపోవడం వల్ల మనకి ఏంటంటే జనరేషన్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ అనేది ఉండదు. సో దీన్ని అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఇది ఇట్లా ఇమీడియట్లీ ఇట్లా టర్బైన్ నుంచి రాగానే ఇక్కడ కండెన్సర్ని పెట్టేస్తాం. జస్ట్ ఇట్లా ఇమీడియట్లీ ఇట్లా రాగానే చేస్తాం కండెన్సర్ పెట్టేస్తాం. ఈ కండెన్సర్తో ఈ స్టీమ్ని మనం ఏం చేస్తాం వాటర్ చేస్తాం. స్టీమ్ ఏం చేస్తాం స్టీమ్ టు వాటర్. This is called condensation. When it is converted into water, water will fill down into the bottom because of its high density. It will be collected at a hot well. This is called hot well. It will collected at a hot well. So this is the reason this kind of phenomenon is called as a back pressure. So in order to avoid the back pressure, we are converting exhausted steam or expanded steam immediately into the water. Then it is converted into water. This direction will be free. Only in one direction steam will come. When in one direction steam is there, it will run the turbine and it will generate the electrical power. Okay. So this is the reason. Even though we know that we are wasting the a lot amount of heat, we are compulsory doing this one. We are compelled to do this one. If you don't do this one, cycle will not run. If you don't do this condensation process, cycle will not run. This is the thing about a steam power cycle. Have you got what is steam power cycle? There are three components. One is boiler. Objective of boiler is what? Water to steam. Next turbine. Turbine has to expand the steam and it has